Circumstance. What a song. All these other wrestlers had, I'm gonna beat you up, and that like crunchy like 80s and 90s guitar of like, I'm a man, I'm a man. And then you just had this classic, elegant pomp and circumstance, and the second it hits.
All right, it's got a nice 70 degrees here in the New York metropolitan area. Let's look at the traffic on the ones.
Our first topic of the situation, Dan getting burned on a documentary. No, I was very lucky to be a part of the A&E biography of Macho Man Randy Savage.
You were great, dude. What a perfect fucking place for you to...
Used an inappropriate joke at the wrong time. No, they, Billy Corbin, who
say
is...
that.
No, man, I was Billy Corbin, who has done a ton of awesome documentaries. Cocaine Cowboys, a lot of... He's like the, he's the Florida guy. I met him doing Jim and Sam, and then Billy Corbin, he like reached out to me, and he was like, hey, Mike Lawrence, comic friend of ours, is helping me on this Macho Man documentary, and I want to get a fan's perspective. Would you want to sit down and talk about the Macho Man? So I thought this dude was like gonna have me do my Macho Man impression, but he ended up like interviewing me for like 2 hours just about Macho Man's career. And so when the A&E biographies came out, I was like, oh shit, I want to see that Macho Man one, thinking that they would use me in like a montage of Macho Man impressions and maybe some like fan reactions from like WrestleMania.
Dude.
WrestleMania.
I thought you were his cousin, dude.
I know, dude. They used me way too much.
Fucking Danny Poffo?
Yeah, dude. They used me to a point where it made me very uncomfortable when I watched it. Like, I had to be like, this is too much, dude.
You grab her and push him in front of him. He was the king of that move, of grabbing her and being like, don't, not today. Like, they're going to hit my woman, and you're like, what a dick.
This is way too much. They shouldn't be using me for this. And then,
Poffo. You're a Poffo, dude.
Dude, what if that's why I never told you that? I go, he's my real dad. I should
Randy Poffo.
My mom did some partying in Florida and fucking took one in the mitt from Macho Man.
His name was Randy, right?
Yeah, Randy Poffo.
Randy Poffo.
And he was like a, second generation wrestler, like his family wrestlers, and I'm like a huge fan of his.
What's his brother's name? What's his brother, the poet's name?
Leaping Lanny.
Well, Leaping Lanny, but is his real name Lanny?
Yeah, Lanny Poffo, and he was the genius in the WWF. Yeah.
But I remember him I go back to liking him as Leaping Lanny Poffo, high flyer.
High flying Leaping Lanny.
You know what? Tell him what happened. Tell the part that people got upset with you for, because as I think about it more, I get more angry with people getting upset with you at all.
Well, here's the crazy thing is I fucking went on Twitter today, and I've seen like I'm tagged in like a bunch of conversations, and what it is this is why I love Bonfire fans. And just people that know me in general, because a lot of the arguments online are like, this fucking schmuck shouldn't have been in the documentary, which A, I completely agree with you on that.
That's fair.
Very fair point. B, is they're like, I made a joke where they were like, they wanted me to talk about his whole life. So they're like, when he died, Macho Man died by having a heart attack as he was driving, and his car went off the road and hit a tree. And so... Just
Corvette, though, hit an oak tree. Everything's masculine.
Everything, man. It actually was like a Jeep. I think it was like a hard, sturdy tree. But when, dude, and Jay, you know this, anytime you're talking to someone for a long time, I just want to make jokes. Like, I'm not going to take this seriously the whole time.
Nature, it's natural, it's beautiful, it's serene. Nature, ain't it grand?
Irregularity I have with my bowels is on you, Slim Jim. I'm going to take you to court. Drop the elbow from it. Yeah. Intestinal fortitude. Not included. Yeah.
And so I was just like trying to make the crew laugh. And I was like,
you held back all your jokes until it came to his untimely death. And then all of a sudden, I can't see. So is that Gallagher over there? Is that Lenny Bruce? Is that Lenny Bruce all of a sudden?
Jerry Seinfeld observing some things about how a man died.
He goes, Dan was actually quite quiet and reserved the entire interview. He goes, all of a sudden I got to his death, and this guy just starts uncorking a tight 7.
I got nice and respectable towards the business during the entire time, and then just singes that bridge. But by the end, I was like saying something stupid, like, oh, what a Macho Man way to die, a heart attack into a car accident. thinking like, this is B-roll. This is some B-roll you can use.
He had a heart attack while driving, and that's a crazy way to die, but it's also a very Macho Man way to die. You take a Jeep and a heart attack into a tree. You're like, dude, what's up?
And they put it at the end of the documentary at a very sad moment where
while
they're
they're playing while they're playing like the Incredible Hulk ending music, moving on down the road.
Yeah,
like the sad music's playing, and Dan's like,
then
waka waka waka.
It's like me and my awkward face being like, "How do you not die driving a car? Oh no!" And that's everyone's like,
You kind of wonder if he negotiated that death. He's like, what if what if the heart stops and then the Jeep pops over the highway, right into a tree, and everyone's like, that's a tough way to go. He's like, very memorable, you know?
dude, if I was a wrestling fan who had no clue who I was, I'd be like, fuck this dude.
No, you wouldn't.
That's what,
no, you would not. You wouldn't give it 3 seconds of thought other than laughing. Other than laughing at the whole situation. Somebody just like going, like, who is this guy that doesn't know you? Like, should move on.
It's a very Macho Man way to die. I mean, it's a sad death. I'm not taking that away from it, but I'm saying, as far as spots go, that's a suplex off the top rope.
To be angry about that, the documentaries are relatively candid, I think.
yeah,
So it's like,
yeah, boy, a lot of people
they don't dig into the dirt, but I mean, like, you know, they do show that he had like a pretty fucking bizarre relationship with his chick, with Elizabeth. Like that was like a real like problematic thing. It's like they don't worry about it, like him being that guy. They're like, hey man, and by the way, Macho Man would cackle the Slim Jimmiest of cackles at a joke about the guy who's mad at you's death. That's how little he would care about your death, dude. Who's upset with Dan?
Guy died. Yeah, guy died sitting in a lazy boy. Very funny. Very comfortable way to die.
But it was
not cool, Macho Man.
You know, at first I was like, because when I saw that people got pissed, I was like, oh shit, man. And then Katie was like, do you regret the joke? I'm like, no, it was a fucking mild joke. It wasn't even a bad, like, we've both made jokes where when you hear it back where you're kind of like, ooh, all right, well, I had some stank on that one. But that was a joke where I was like, no, that was relatively harmless. It was just where they put it in the documentary made it look super callous. It just made it look like.
Look, I can't speak for the rest of the people that were offended, but this right now, that you're doing right now for me, is not cutting it. I'm still angry. I don't know. Just like your excuses, just sounds like you're scurrying. I don't know if you really mean it. I think you think it's hilarious that a man, a champion, a former champion, a family man who had a family, had a mother, had a leaping brother at home, and an amazing career. And you chose to go make a mockery out of this man's death.
What's the deal with having a heart attack into a tree? Are you showing the tree that you're not working anymore? Are you trying to kill the tree? Who's dying here? I mean, you could drop an elbow. Why drop a car into a tree?
His Jeep went into a tree. He had a heart attack. And then a fucking battle tank drove over him.
Yeah, and then fucking bombs got dropped from a communist nation that wanted to steal everything that we love.
The thing was, the tank wheels were the only thing that were holding his organs in place, so he was still alive. And then he fought 2 people and won successfully, but eventually the tank had to move, and then his body parts fell out, and then he died.
I also heard.
You think that's funny, Dan? That's funny to you.
I also heard his penis was pumping semen like a fucking fountain soda machine into any woman that stood by him.
Fucking geyser. I heard he has 55 illegitimate children.
That would have been great, man.
Yeah, not the greatest at pulling out. Yeah, it feels so good. So good when you're deep inside.
Yeah, he does so Macho. He fucking got flung from the car in mid-heart attack and landed straight into some hot pussy. And they say that's what did him in.
They say that him coming so hard killed him. He got shook. But it's like, we've both been interviewed for documentaries before, and it's just a weird thing when you think about you are saying something, and then they're like, cool, I can use that to tell my story. Makes me think of every crime documentary I've watched where some guy's just sitting down, he's like, I'd love to talk to you about this. And then halfway through, he's like, oh, you're going to say I killed her. Your questions are forming into...
Buddy, you're ahead of the game.
Cut out the costumes, cut out the crazy voice, cut out everything. At the core is a man that knew what it took to be great.
Yeah, New York, New York. It's everything they say. Yeah, no place I'd rather be. Yeah. Where else can you do $500,000 things? Yeah. All in the 2:45.
It's easily one of my favorite things.
Sometimes in my bed at night. Yeah. Crisp and dark and I pray for light. And sometimes, yeah, the light. No consolation. Yeah.
I'm gonna go crazy. You're gonna come over and all my different voices are gonna.
A lot of people will go.
Soder shattered.
Yeah, just say it.
He goes, you gotta go to the left side of the
Get
room.
to the chopper.
Yeah, I'm doing
Hey, there is no chopper.
we all died. Everyone's dead. I wonder if I ever mentally snapped.
Tiger blood can't get.
If we ever snapped, if we would just fall into a pit of our voices. You're like, dude, Soder's somewhere in there. I'm like, round and round, you never know. And you're like, God, can I talk to Dan? I'm like, Jan, help me.
Macho Man, you should do a Instagram video for sure. It's
Corona, Corona. Drinking them in. Yeah, taking in the virus, hurting your lungs.
the inside of your body is going to wrestle with coronavirus.
It's Macho Man.
Get it into me.
Yeah, I'll handle it.
Cage match. Yeah. COVID-19.
But Liz was like, dude, he goes, but they're saying your name like every day on the air, like a whole bunch. She goes, they're trying to put you over. They're trying to they're doing that.
I mean,
like they're making this. Yeah, that's why I said, I go, maybe it was.
I love the.
What's great about Ronnie B is you're right. To this day, I don't really know.
Yeah, something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard is that podcast I tell you about. It's so awesome. Him and Conrad Thompson, and they're doing a live show here before SummerSlam, and he's like doing he's starting to get the fucking kayfabe thing going. He's like, I can do a way better Macho Man than Dan Soder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like,
no, yeah, brother of love, yeah, everything ends. Yeah, sundown, coming for you.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
You see this? We have somebody on the phone here. Today's gonna be a bit of a caller show. We got some fun stuff coming up with callers, but
he wants. Can I do the whistling Macho Man? The trucker. That's tough.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Macho Man. Gotta do the whistle. Whistle way to work. Yeah, everyone knows.
It's hard.
That's fucking hard. You got to bend your mouth in a weird way.
Steven in Virginia, you're on with the bonfire, buddy.
I tried. I'm sorry I failed you.
Steven?
The most awkward one I ever had was a call-in, and I called in. The guy was like, "Hey, will you call in this morning show to promote the?" It was like a one-nighter. Will you call in to promote? I was like, "Yeah." It was 7:15 in the morning. I wake up. I go out to my living room, and I'm on hold. And the guy goes, "On hold. He's gonna be." I'm not gonna say the club. He's like, "He's gonna be here on Saturday." And I do like a Macho Man Randy Savage impression sometimes on podcasts. And
Macho Man,
but impression. I do it, and he goes, "Macho Man Randy Savage," and they pod me up on the phone, and I go, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." And the guy goes, "No, I think it's Macho Man." I go, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing. I don't know who told you I was going to do this. I was told I was supposed to promote the show." And
did he know if he would have done a shitty Macho Man, it would have made you have to do it because you get that itchy?
Oh, dude, I'd get that alpha.
No, come on, you could do it. Like, oh yeah.
I go, no, man, that's not really how it goes. He goes, "No, oh yeah, please stop doing that. You're doing
it very wrong."
He's like, "I got you." Yeah, it was, and it got so awkward that I just had to bail on the call. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what you want me to do." And he's like, "Do the voice." He goes, "Do the voice."
This is now insane. That's not even a conversation.
Say the line, Bart.
Yeah.